Texas man who has spent more than 20 years on death row is set to be executed exactly a month from today.
In 2003, Robert Roberson was convicted and sentenced to death for the murder of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki. But new evidence has been causing many advocates to question his guilt.
KVUE's Malia Masamoto joins us live from the state capitol, where dozens of representatives are now calling for clemency for Roberson.
Brennan Quita, 84 Texas state representatives signed a letter to the Board of Pardons and Paroles and Governor Greg Abbott. Now, more than 10 years ago, they signed a law that would allow for new trials if scientific discovery showed that forensic evidence was flawed. But now they're seeing, especially with Robertson's case, that the courts seem to be dismissing this state law.
I say I got it wrong.
A confession, but not from the man convicted of murder.
I'm embarrassed about myself that I did not see him as he is back then. Might have changed something.
Brian Wharton was the lead detective on Robert Robertson's case in 2003, whose testimony helped land Robertson on death row. At the time, Wharton and other detectives perceived a lack of emotion from Robertson as guilt, but his attorneys say that's because he's on the autism spectrum.
The state of Texas is preparing, in essence, to execute Forrest Gump.
They also say medical misjudgment about his 2-year-old daughter Nikki's death also played a role in his conviction.
There was this rush to judgment in 2002 without any investigation of her underlying medical history, her current diagnosis.
During the trial, a medical examiner and pediatrician claimed Nikki's death was due to shaken baby syndrome.
And I followed their lead. I simply accepted their explanation of what had happened to Nikki.
But since then, medical experts have said in the days before her death, Nikki had severe pneumonia and was prescribed medication that made her condition worse. State lawmakers argue the junk science writ of 2013 should have prompted a new trial because the shaken baby hypothesis has been debunked. But even now, Roberson remains on death row.
To me, it's shocking and deeply disturbing that in Texas in 2024, scientific evidence of innocence can be casually ignored by our system. It's not what the legislature intended when we passed our reforms, and it may very well result in our state killing an innocent man for a crime that didn't even happen.
And for Wharton, that's something he'd never be able to get over.
I'll be forever haunted by my participation in his prosecution, his arrest and prosecution.
Robertson's attorneys say a court is still considering their motion to withdraw the execution date, but their fight may make it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Live at the state capitol, Malia Masamoto, KVUE News.